Hello, this is a review of 1961 Honinbo title match between Sakata Eio and Takagawa Kaku. Sakata won the first game by resignation, and this is the second game. And in this game, Takagawa has black and Sakata has white. For the players, I could say that, as far as I know, Takagawa had the Honinbo title for 9 consecutive years, and this would be the 10th year if they also won this game, or this match rather. So Takagawa has black and they start with the star point. Sakata has white and they play the 3-3 point in the opposing corner. So already at this point you could say that perhaps white is looking to play more of a territorial game, while black is looking to build influence, but it's not clear yet what's going to happen. Takagawa takes another star point. And Sakata plays the 5-3 point in the last remaining corner. So this is a bit unusual already. I suppose that the 5-3 point makes it harder for black to extend from this 4-4 stone. And this is played in 1961, so it's before the AI stuff. Nowadays, I guess, the opening style has changed. In any case, black approaches this corner, so this is not an extension from the star point. And white plays a 2-space low pincer. So this 3-3 point in this corner makes it a bit difficult to develop a moyo in this region. And well, I guess this is a question of style. Black plays the Kosumi. Otherwise, white could play this point, and then black could get sealed in the corner. So it's important to come out this way. And what follows is a Joseki. That I think it's not so popular anymore. But white plays the knight's move. Black kicks, taking the corner. And it's also a kind of a forcing move regarding the stone here. White extends and makes this a fairly solid shape. So there could be some tactical issues here. For example, if black would choose to tenuki, but black descends on the second line. So this pretty much clears the aji in the corner, or and it also prepares to. So for an example, if you imagine black had a stone somewhere in this region, there would be the option to connect underneath. On the other hand, this shape is fairly thick and white gets to play first. And then continue with the Joseki move, which is this extension. And this is fairly ideal considering the formation. But the descent on the second line reduces the potential point value in this region. On the other hand, black could have also tried to go towards the center instead of descending, but that would be another kind of. And black takes the star point on the side. Basically, because of this formation, the black doesn't have a potential to create a moya on the top side or to have territory, but instead they should be looking forward to making territory on the side or perhaps on the bottom side. White plays a Kakari, a knight's move, in the lower right corner. And black responds with the high move, jumps. White plays another knight move or keima, and black protects the 3-3 point. So here white has a choice of an extension. They could play the low stone here or one of the higher points. Basically there's three main options. It should be this star point and a 2-space extension and a high 2-space extension. And in this game white chooses the low stone, which is interesting because it means that all of the white stones in this part of the board are low stones, and it's not so easy to build a moya here, so I guess you can say that it's definitely a territorial style to play. So black chooses to pincer this one stone over here with a 2-space pincer. And basically white has two options. They can jump out, or they can play another pincer and limit Blackstone's movement. But if, well, white does play the pincer, but they can only do this if they know, if they read or have a plan of how they're going to deal with this stone. And in this game, by the way, the players have 10 hours each, and they're 9 done professional, so the amount of reading they do here is, it's a lot. This is a low-level review, and it's not possible to cover the game to the death at which they actually played it, at least. So this is a superficial review. Black also has, I would say black has basically three options. One would be to jump out. Another would be to play something like an attachment here. And the third option is to play some kind of move trying to seal this white stone in. And in the game, black chooses the shoulder hit. So the main variation, which also occurs in the game, kind of, is to consider what happens when white tries to come out to the center. And this is the game move also. So white nobi. And black would have two options here, essentially. One would be to extend, but that would mean that these stones could link up, and it's not something black wants to allow easily. So, or at least in any case, black plays the Hane here. So one variation which could occur here, and this is something the players, both of the players have read out what would happen here, but well, the first option would be to play this Hane, but it's almost the same as playing the crosscut. Except it's not quite the same. So let's imagine black would extend on this side. White could Atari here, and black could extend. White could play another Atari, and black would extend again. So basically the issue here is that if white plays on this side and black connects over here, then this black stone is assisting black from getting out, and also playing this Atari now. If white extends, then it would get complicated. But what white can do though is to sacrifice the two stones and play on this side, in which case black could play a forcing move, maybe from this side. So if white connects, although it's not so clear if black can do this, because there's also some potential. But anyway, that's not really the main point here. The issue is that when black turns here, then these two stones are captured. But it's not clear if this is a result that white wants, or if it would necessarily follow. But now it would look like white has some potential to create a moyo in the lower left corner, and black has gained some points in exchange. On the other hand, all of the stones here are low, so I'm not sure why. But basically white didn't choose this variation. So white plays this Keima instead, and there's well, one of the issues in this shape in general is that if these two white stones don't have liberties, for example, if white would try to block here, then if white had one less liberty, this would be Atari. So for an example, if white played the Hane here, then well, depending on what would happen, just to illustrate the principle, if white would try to play the Keima now, once that they have already lost the liberty, then these stones couldn't, they would get captured. Or at least there would be a variation like the one with the crosscut. But in that case, it's not clear if white wants to have the Hane stone on this side. In any case, black extends here, which prevents the white stones from coming out this way, and also it's kind of preparing to put pressure on these stones. So for an example, if black would play somewhere in this region, the stones on the outside could help with the fighting that would follow. White clamps here. And black extends. This is already kind of a complicated situation. And it's not so clear what would happen if white just pushes out, but extending here. If they would Atari here, there could be a counter Atari and a Ko or something. But whatever the reason, white chooses to connect on the second line instead. And black plays this Atari from above. So basically, black got some kind of an outside influence towards the center, and white got a somewhat settled shape here. There's still some follow-up moves to play, but basically they're too small to play right now. So white approaches the start point from this side. So this is a bit tricky. Basically, when you have the high stone here, one would be tempted to play the kick and then and then extend on the top. But this white stone here is kind of it kind of posits the question that what are you getting on the top side if so for example, like you see in what could happen in handicap games or even other games, the normal move would be the jump here. So considering just these two stones, it would be a pretty good result. But on the other hand, white has here follow-up moves from the side or towards the 3-3 point. And black would need to add a stone to make this into a territory. So black plays the large knight move, and I think the main purpose of this move is that black can invade this white or attack this white group over here and try to use these stones. And so it could be preferable that this stone is closer, so you can consider attaching underneath and things of that sort. But here, white plays an unusual move, or at least one that I have not seen a lot, and it's playing here. And basically what this move is saying is that white can live in the corner, or they could try to split these two black stones. So for an example, if black would pass, then you could play this attachment here and it would split the two stones. Or you could try to connect underneath in some manner. So if you would look at this position with an AI, like I did for a brief moment, there would be another way to handle this situation, which would be to play something like this, and it would be pretty complicated, and I don't think it's an intuitive way of playing. Anyway, in the game, black attaches on top here. White takes the 3/3 point. Black descends. White honey. Black honey. White connect. And black connects. White extends from this side. And black simply connects. The variation still continues, but basically what's happening is some sort of a 3/3 invasion Joseki kind of pattern. And there's still some aji with this down. White extends on the second line. And black bumps into this white stone. So one would be tempted to continue on the second line, but that would be a big mistake here, because if black gets to honey on the top here, then the potential to make a lot of territory in this side gets bigger. Instead, white extends towards the center to not get sealed in. Black descends. White blocks. And black descends on the first line. But this move is actually a pretty big mistake. But it's pretty complicated to explain. The problem is that it makes only sense to play this way if it's center regarding both groups, this group and the corner group. Let's say that this group is, the corner is entirely alive, and you play this descent. Then it's not center against the corner. That means it could be center against the side group. But if that's the case, then white could simply do something like jump out from over here. So exchanging this first line stone with this one, it wouldn't be very efficient. So instead, if black played here and white connected on the first line, this would be a much better exchange for black, basically. But it's also that if black doesn't play this descent on the first line, then the attack potential regarding this group gets pretty low. But when I was trying to check this with Katagawa or something, I think it was KA train named then the issue is that it's not really center. Well, the program didn't say that, but basically white doesn't need to follow up in the corner, which makes this a bad move. So if white had to respond to this move by playing something like this, then it would make perfect sense. But white doesn't. However, in the game, white activates this stone, and let's see, am I getting this right? Black descends on this side also. And this is a different kind of extension, because this is a potential black territory. So it's not the same as playing this one. These stones are not clearly not very healthy right now. And therefore cutting them out makes more sense. And in the game, white plays here. I think it has two meanings. It is an attack, creating this potential cut here, and it's also making the corner stronger. But insofar as I understand, this wasn't actually necessary. But basically, now the exchange became that black played this stone and white played this stone. So it kind of justifies the move, but so basically, although this was a big mistake, when white ended up playing here, it's no longer such a big mistake because white didn't get to play here first. But since white defended the corner, black plays Hane here, white Hane, black extends, white plays the knight's move, black forks, white extends. If I was playing this, I would be so tempted to just play the Hane on the head of two stones, but I guess that goes to show that there's a different level of players. So black just extends, white extends, and black plays here. So this move has several purposes, which is to put pressure on these stones, but black has committed a lot of moves into putting pressure on these stones, and you could argue that maybe the attack black's getting is not good enough considering the size of the investment here. But also these stones are not alive actually, so by playing here, black is trying to create some eye space inside this group. So it looks like kind of that the white is getting everything. They have a group on top, and they have a group here, and they have a group in the corner, and black just has this big group. But on the other hand, this group isn't going to have a lot of points, and the territory white might have here is very low. And there's a potential to attack the white group, or both of them. So I guess you could say that there are some kind of imbalances here. Oh, excuse me. White responds by playing the shoulder hit here. And black extends here. White is pushing from behind. And black plays Hane. So the exchange of these four stones for these four stones, then black is getting something towards this side of the board, which would be very useful, except that white already has this group in the, in the lower right corner, so the potential to make a lot of territory here is restricted. Although black could still try by playing something like a move on the fourth line to create to create a mirror between splitting the white stones or covering white from above. So for example, if something like this occurred, then black might have some points here. So let's see, how did this game continue? I think white extended here. And black played this Kasumi. And I think they probably did a lot of reading, but it's also kind of like a vital point. But it also kind of looks questionable. In any case, white creates some eye shape for this group, and black plays Kosumi again. So basically this is a fairly well connected chain of stones, and it's separating the two groups. And neither group is yet alive, or actually none of these three groups is alive yet. So there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. White Atari. Getting this down would be pretty big for white. The territory potential in the center. But white doesn't have time to take it. And so, I mean, black could connect now, but so black plays the vital point concerning these three white stones, and it's probably the strongest move locally, but reading this out is a bit beyond my ability, so anyway. But the purpose makes sense though. Black wants to invade and reduce white's eye space. The white group is surrounded, so a move in this region makes sense. The white kicks here. Black descends. White covers from above. And black peeps. So, well, basically it's a forcing move, so white has to connect. But this move is taking away white's shape a bit, so these stones don't have two eyes yet, and white has to do something about it. Also, there's a potential cut here, not right now, but in the future. So let's see. I think at this point white played here, which is starting to create eye shape here, and also protecting the cut, and it's also putting pressure on these black stones, so they don't get two eyes that easily either. Let's see. So black covers from above. White extends. And black plays the Kamo. So basically, white needs to do something about this group because it's not fully alive yet. And let's see. I'm pretty sure white descends here, but I have to check this order of moves. Right, I actually got this wrong a bit. Excuse me. Yeah, I did this. This wasn't correct. So let's see. When black peeps, white connects. Well, I'll just remove these stones and replay this correctly, since I seem to have misremembered how this went. So black peeps, white connects, and then black plays here to or turns on the first line to connect the two black stones. But then this white plays the jump here. I guess I just forgot to play this move. That's basically what happened while explaining. Black extends. white extend, and now black plays the Keima. So white comes back to defend this I shape for the group. Although black can still connect the two stones, but this is creating potential to make two eyes. For an example, playing here would threaten to capture the two black stones, and then if black connects, white could make an eye here, and that sort of thing. So after this is kind of settled, black comes back to connect this, so white doesn't get the Atari. And white still needs to defend this group, so they're playing some forcing moves here. Black blocks here. White plays the Atari. And black connects. So the first purpose of these moves was to create some eye space by getting this move in as a forcing move. So you could have an eye here, for an example. And also white got this down in as a forcing move. So now these stones don't have two eyes immediately, or black needs to. Well, black can make two eyes by taking this stone, because then there will be another eye here. But if white plays first, they can prevent black from having two eyes. And of course, black's not going to just live in Gote unless they absolutely have to. So, in any case, white comes back to defend this group. I guess this was a kind of a vital point, because black could connect underneath, or they could connect from the side. So this is, and if black had a stone here, it would be pretty difficult to make two eyes in this region. So white is basically defending the group in Gote. So let's see. Black pincers this stone, and well, at this point of the game, you could try and consider what groups are weak, or where each player could make some territory, and what regions are unclaimed, and so forth. But this group is not entirely settled yet, so the pincer makes sense, and also there's potential to make territory on the lower side, so it's a logical move. White plays a forcing exchange here by putting this black stone into Atari. And basically black has to take this white stone. Now this shape is a lot stronger, but white got these stones in center. By the way, since this is a review, I'm not counting the captured stones here, but well, anyway, doesn't matter. White plays the extension here, and now this group has a base and it's basically alive. But it's also preparing to play something in the corner, and well, depending on what happens, if there's cuts or something, then the corner might not be completely settled yet. But right now, of course, they're well connected to this what looks like two eyes. Anyway, black covers on top. Let's see. I'm pretty sure white plays here, but I'll have to check the order of moves. So black plays the elephant jump in this lower left corner, which is basically, well, it's a fourth line move, and I'm not sure what to think of it exactly. But it's an unusual situation. Black has potential to make quite a few points on the right here. There's a small corner, not exactly points, and this group is literally 2 points. It's gonna have 2 eyes or something for now. But on the other hand, white has this group, which is maybe 5 points or something. And this group for now looks like it's also going to be like 2 eyes or something. Whereas this distance actually, well, there's more territory here than there is for either of these groups. And then white has this corner, but it's reduced because black can play a couple of moves here. But the lower side is undecided. Personally, I wouldn't like having black in this situation because there doesn't seem to be anything to attack, and it's not clear where to make territory other than trying to build this into a moyo, but the space isn't that big. Anyway, white doesn't respond in a corner, but instead pushes through here. Basically, I think they want to restrict the territory potential black can make in the center. So if they would push through here, then there would be nothing. And black covers. White plays this peep here, which is kind of preparing to potentially attack these stones or this entire group. Well, it's not exactly like that. Basically, I think white wants to maintain the potential to without making a huge investment into it. But anyway, black does connect here. And white Atari. And black attaches here in the corner. White extends. And black connect here. So, well, you could say there's some potential to make points here. If these stones were caught, and if these stones were caught also, this could be some kind of region of territory. So, but it's complicated. Anyway, so black connected here, and white connected in this region. Black connects these stones, and white plays a Keima. Black attaches on top. White honey. And black honey in the corner. And this actually looks like a modern AI Joseki, almost. Almost. If white stone was here, it would be similar. And then there could be this. But it's not exactly the same. But similar. Basically, there's this potential to cut here, because if white plays here, then there's a shortage of liberties. So white responds in the corner, and black does play the honey here. White connects on the outside, black connects on the inside. White Atari. And what happened here exactly? Black pushes here. And white extends. This is kind of like a driving Tesuji type of move. Not exactly, but this black stone is losing liberties. And now when black plays this Atari, it has a double purpose. It's defending the stone that just lost the liberty, and it's sealing the corner in. And white takes the stone to make a life in the corner. And black plays this Kosumi to connect the corner with these stones, since this group doesn't have any eyes yet. But it's also cutting these down from the center, kind of. Quite clearly can't just push out from here. So white plays this attachment, which is well, it's basically defending the group on top, but it's also creating some cutting potential in the center. However, black just ignores this and plays an attachment on bottom. But here, I think black makes a big mistake. Although it's not clear, you can say that they got the result that they wanted. White honey and black crosscut. White Atari from top and black Atari from this side. And white takes the first black stone. So this looks like, well, if you consider the territory potentials and all of that, black has all of these stones in the center, and then they play this move where they sacrifice a stone and white gets a Ponuki or something like that in this region. On the other hand, what do I know? It just looks wrong somehow to do this. Like, well, let's say, I'm not sure if there's anything better. It just doesn't look right to me. But black Atari from the side, and white just connects. So now it's not a Ponuki anymore. Black plays a hanging connection, basically capturing these 3 stones. So, and that's pretty big. The 3 white stones are now black territory, kind of. Although, well, everything kind of depends. White plays Atari from above. Black extends. And white simply takes this down. So especially looking at this result, it just doesn't look right to me. But on the other hand, maybe it's big enough to take these stones. However, it does look like this erases the potential to make any territory in the center. For black, that is. And also now these stones are very strong, so although black has all of these stones around, there's no way to attack these stones anymore. Or at least I don't think there's any. So now that these stones are captured, black is going to play here. Otherwise, white could play here as a kind of a forcing move. If white would play here now, and black has just committed to capturing these stones, then black would have to play a smaller move. But by playing this first, white has to defend to make a life, and then it removes the forcing move from white. And then black plays this tiger's mouth here, and white covers. So this is actually another mistake, or not exactly a mistake, but black descends here, which is a big move. It makes points in the corner. But here, well, maybe it's not big enough. But since black just played this exchange here, black could also descend at the first line, and then well, white would have to respond or they would lose the corner. On the other hand, if white gets to play here first by playing this Atari, black would connect, and white could connect underneath. And that would remove this forcing move from black. So I don't know. This doesn't have the same kind of... but I don't know. Maybe it's bigger. These are they're very good players, so I'm sure they know what they're doing. Anyway, so... what was the next move? So, white pushes in the corner. Black covers. White plays this Atari. And black turns here. I'm not sure about this. But letting white capture this turn too seems a bit questionable. On the other hand, just connecting here, I don't know. But black chooses to turn here instead. The reasoning might have something to do with that. If black connects here, then maybe there's some aji in this region. For an example, if white pushes. Can black cover here? If black does, and can white cut these stones? And is there a problem then? I'm not sure about that, but I think that's the reason. So black turns here, and white takes the black stone over here. And black connects here. What happened next? I think I'll have to check this with the... Alright, so white peeps here, and black doesn't connect, which is a bit surprising, or at least to me, but instead wedges here. white Atari, and black has to connect here. So now this entire group is not 100% alive because of this exchange. White pushes here, which is dividing the bottom and the top group. Black plays this jump here. White attaches from above. Black honey. And white honey from over here. Black extends. And white connects. So this connecting is a center because well, white could surround this group with one move right now, and then black would have to make life in Gote, and that would be pretty bad. So black clamps here instead. And then white comes back to defend this group. Although right now it looks like these stones could get captured, but there's all kinds of complications in the area. White could connect to these stones, and there could be cuts here or cuts here, and it takes some complicated reading to figure out how this is going to turn out. So black extends here. White turns here, which is a forcing move, because there could be a cut now. And black connects. Then white pushes through here. Black honey. Which is also a center, or this honey also concerns the eye space of all these white stones over here, because if black would connect this stone, then white would have maximum of one eye in this region, and just connecting to these stones wouldn't make another one. So white covers from above. So basically white should be alive with these stones already, but there's still complications. Black descends here, and maybe it's just me, but somehow this looks wrong. It's a big move. Black makes points here, but it's also a Gote endgame move, so I'm not sure. It might have something to do with all of this. I'm not sure what to think about it. So let's see. White extends here, which is trying to get some points in this region and create some Agi. Black extends, which is kind of trying to lift this territory up a bit. And there's also some endgame Agi here. So now white plays this Atari, and black just connects, and white connects underneath. So it would have been really good for black to get this forcing move in, because now, well, white wouldn't have had the option to make points here. Kind of like But it's no big deal, I guess. Let's see. What did black do next? Right, so black jumps here, and white just ignores it and plays this turn here, which is well, it's a forcing move, I suppose. I'm not sure exactly, but there could be some issues here. So black blocks here, and then white comes back to defend the group on top. Black connects underneath. And white plays this cut. Basically, it's just creating some RG, and it's not trying to really take the corner. But it's also forcing black to decide if they Atari from this side or from this side. Let's see. So white turns here, and this move means that these turns have only one eye, potentially. But it's a mi between making a connection and making two eyes. So black plays on this side, saying that it doesn't make sense to reduce the group to one eye when they're connected here anyway. And white connects. Black plays the bamboo joint. Oh, these stones don't quite fit in here, do they? And white plays this shape. And black plays this hanging connection. So basically, like this move might seem weird, but it was a forcing move. So black had a choice of either connecting or making two eyes, and they chose to connect here. But in the process, white got an extra forcing move here. So now white could connect, or it's a possibility to connect to these stones. So let's see. What does white do next? White plays an endgame move here, or defends their territory. It also takes a liberty from these two stones, which also lost the liberty because of this move. Black plays in the corner, and white responds here to make a life. I'm not sure if this is like, I don't think this is the only move, and I didn't know what the reason is to choose this particular move. It could be something like call threats, like well, I don't want to speculate on that because I don't know the reason. So black descends here. Then this is basically just an endgame move. But white could make a call here. So if white plays first, then there would be a call to save these three stones. So black is taking that ko away in gote. And that might be why. I don't know. So let's see. I'm having trouble remembering the endgame moves. How to take. So white crosscuts here, which is creating potential too. It's not exactly forcing. Because even if white would cut here or something, black could just capture the stone. So black tries to defend this potential territory here, and they play this nice move. But it's not clear if this is a well-placed stone. It's also, I guess it's restricting white's potential space a bit. So in response, white extends here, and the point is that if white would push through here, and black would cover, then there could be some aji with this cut here. So they're playing this extension because it's a forcing move, and it creates some more aji. Because now white has more liberties and can just capture the stone in response to a cut there. So black responds here, white hane, and black plays this move. White then chooses to attach on top here, and it's probably looking at trying to use this aji as well. Black hane, and white plays tenuki, but what did they play? So white pushes here, which creates the it's a forcing move because there's a cut here, kind of, and it's also making more space for white stones. But black responds here by blocking. So now black can make 2 outs by capturing this. If white would cut here, and if white plays this move, then black can connect here. And white then comes back to try and reduce this black territory. And black extends. Then there's this endgame exchange in the corner. White plays hane, black hane, white connects. And I'm also looking these moves up from the Kifu, but also remember some of the moves. But it's hard to remember what order they were played in. White plays this Atari, and black connects, and white takes the stone. So this makes some some kind of points here, I guess. And black plays the Atari. Right. Oh, excuse me. I dropped this down. So, white plays here. And let me get the stone from. So white side is extended here, and black plays this honey. And it's kind of looking to well, there's some potential to cut this down still. But basically, by the way, I guess I could have. So there's an issue if black would try to cut this way, and white could cut in return. And if black saves this down, then there's a shortage of liberties here. So for an example, if black plays here, then white could play this move, and black can't connect this because of shortage of liberties. Let's see. Wait. This down isn't here, is it? So white turns over here, further trying to reduce black's territory. And black plays the vital point, which is kind of saying that black could cut here if white keeps extending. But white wedges here or pushes through here. And now if black would try this cut, there would be an issue because there would be a mi between capturing this stone and capturing this stone. So black connects here, and white plays this sacrifice here, still trying to use the same idea to keep the stones connected, or try to do it in center. White attacking, and black takes this down, and white plays this move to connect. So now there's if black plays here and white Atari from the outside, then there's a liberty shortage issue. And what's next? So now that white's connected, black covers here. And white plays elsewhere. What did they do here? So there's this endgame sequence. White pushes here. Black connects. White plays here. So black has to put his stones into Atari. Or defend somehow. And then white plays here, which is threatening to cut the black stones. Black connects. And white is plays another forcing move, which is threatening to save this one stone here. Black takes it. But now there's a cut here because the liberty shortage problem is gone, so white has to come back and defend now. And also now there would be some issues here, so black connects. Where was I? Sorry about that, my cat was distracting me, so... And they still seem to be interested in doing that. Basically now it's endgame moves. White plays here, black connects. And I have so much trouble remembering the order of the endgame moves. So black plays here. Excuse me, white plays here. And what was black's response? Alright, well it's the same situation. So black takes this down to make 2 eyes. Also, that way these moves won't be forcing. So basically, I guess they're saying that it makes more points to actually take this down because of the forcing moves than to respond here. And then white cuts here, and black has to connect. White plays here, which makes a point, and it's also kind of creating a cutting potential here. If white would play this move, then you could have some kind of cut problem here, and maybe there's algae with these downs. But now black starts a call instead of just connecting here. They're taking the call. And white plays a call threat in the corner, and black responds by putting the stones into a hurry, and white takes back. Black plays a call threat in this corner. White connects, and black takes the stone back. And I think that white figures, they don't have the call threats to keep doing this, so they just connect here. Black plays here. And what does white do? Excuse me. White plays here, which makes a point, and also it's a forcing move. But on the other hand, white is losing a point on this side. So white just blocks here. Black plays this one. White descends. And black connects these stones. White plays a move here to... My cat has the cat is distracting. So let's see. What does black do next? White, black plays in the corner. This is a go-to sequence. White blocks and black blocks. And white chooses which point to continue the end game. White plays here. And black blocks. White connects here. Oh, excuse me, I'm so bad at remembering the endgame moves. Black Atari. Excuse me. I'm not sure what's wrong with me today. Everything is going a bit wrong. So white connects, and let's see. Black plays this move, which is threatening to cut the white 5 stones. So white connects here, and black makes 1 point in this space here. White blocks here, king points in gold there. Black pushes here, white blocks, and black makes 1 point here in gold there. So it's 1 point gote moves at this point, basically. And there's only a few remaining. White plays here, but this isn't a point actually. Is this a mistake? Because black connects on this side. I guess it was 0 points, but it was forcing or something like that. So So white plays Hane here on the right hand side, and black blocks. White connects, black pushes, white connects, and then black just finishes the call by connecting here. And this is the end of the Kifu, and white won this game by 1.5 points. I think there's still some moves to be played, but they're not changing the score anymore, like this one for example. So now it's two wins for Sakata and 0 wins for Takagawa. And Takagawa had held the Honinbo title for 9 years in a row, and now they're losing 2 games to 0 with Sakata Eio. So it's not looking too good for Takagawa so far. But this was an interesting game. I think there was think this descent was an interesting mistake, which didn't cost black anything because white ended up responding here anyway. But it's also strange that this was a very balanced game, only 1.5 1.5 points difference, and also this result that white got the corner and groups on two adjacent sides, and black had to live with 2 points here, which is pretty interesting also. And black had the potential to make a moyo or territory on the bottom side, but then they gave white this strong shape in the middle of this potential in exchange for these 3 stones, which was big. So maybe they calculated that this is actually worth more. Could be. Also, this exchange in the corner, it was kind of interesting. I think the opening overall was interesting. And in the end, black did end up making quite a few points in the right-hand side. It seems like, I don't know, it was an unusual game. And most of the variations here, they are way beyond my reading level, but I basically tried to grasp the main points. But anyway, I'll end this video now, and thanks for watching.